welcome to another episode on the Phoenix Generation podcast. My name is Samantha Romero, and I am a fourth year attending the University of Central Florida, and I work with the Phoenix Family Company. So today we have a couple of guests joining us today. Please introduce yourselves, your name, where you're from, and your school.
Cool. Oh, I guess I'll go first. Hi, guys. My name is Milani. I go to Lynn University and I'm born and raised in Orlando. And I think that's all you asked. So best the mic.
Yes. And then I am Russell, also Orlando native, go to Rollins, recently just graduated, and excited to be here today.
Rollins. Hello, everyone. My name is Eltavius Johnson from the islands of the Bahamas, born and raised. And so rising senior, which is wild, and I go to Rollins College, president of the student body.
Oh,
yes. So grateful to have you guys here. I'm so excited to begin. Today we are playing a little game of agree, disagree. This is pretty exciting. So just to sum it up, I'm going to be reading certain prompts for everyone. I have them on my little cards here. You will be seeing these, don't worry. And I would like everyone to please respond with a show of fingers. So it's going to be kind of a spectrum. So one finger, these are all statements. So one finger, you're going to say you strongly disagree, all the way up until 5, where you strongly agree. Okay. So every time we're going to ask a prompt, I'll just ask you guys, or you can just know to show fingers, please. Mm-hmm. Yes. So just a little preface. I just want to say that this is going to be a great example of having courageous conversations. We're coming together to make an effort to understand other people's perspectives, and it's not to necessarily, I know it's funny, not agree or disagree, but just kind of understand each other. So I'm excited to do that with you guys. You guys let me know when we're ready to start. We'll just jump right into it, right? We're here, we've been waiting. Okay, cool. So we're going to start with a little favorite I've heard.
Okay.
Our first statement I will show you. It is okay to pull the wings off a cockroach for $50.
Hold on. So one is disagree.
One is disagree. Yeah.
For $50?
Mm-hmm.
Is it dead or alive?
Oh, good question.
You know what? We haven't specified, so do we want to take a group vote? Or should I just tell you?
Just tell us, because I don't know what to vote for.
It's alive.
Oh, yuck.
Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. You know, we get a lot of rain in the Bahamas, and a lot of cockroaches settle. Yeah. And
in Florida,
I'd say good 4, a good 4 or 5.
To strongly agree.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's okay.
All right.
I mean,
we're getting a strong 1 here.
I'm not touching the cockroach, number 1. And if it's alive, I'm going to have somebody else kill it. So if they kill it by pulling off the wings, that's not my business. But me personally, I'm not touching it.
So if it's dead, you would pull the wing off?
No, I'm not going to touch it.
No, I don't.
I'm not touching it at all. Like, my hands will steer clear.
Okay, $50.
I would say
no.
If I smack it with the flip-flop first kind of thing, like $50 is a nice meal. So like I would probably
But
yeah, right. You know what?
I'm a 4. Like
because
if I'm in the right mindset.
Like how do you even know? What if you accidentally pull the leg?
Because who said it has to stay alive?
Because I'm gonna kill it anyway. Like
we're all students. We're all students, right? Like you're not killing the cockroach. You're de-winging it. I don't know.
De-winging
it, right? Like it could grow back. Those animals they're resourceful.
Right, resilient.
Yeah, they're resilient. They're strong. Listen, I mean, $50 realistically, that's a good online textbook, right?
So yeah.
Let's think about the thing.
I give you guys strength because me personally, if I see the cockroach, I'm running the opposite direction.
He's
like
screaming.
Honestly, I'm screaming. I don't do them. I'm like, oh.
Little Otavius was a cockroach catcher, right? Like that was my thing. I was to find them and chase them. That was my thing. So I got you. Hey, listen, I'm gonna do it and get each of you $50.
I'll give it. So I agree. I strongly agree. It's fine. I strongly agree with that.
Put him on speed dial.
Right. I'm about to say. So if I see a cockroach, I'm calling you.
But I have a special set of skills, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting 2 5-ish, and we're getting a 4. Nice. So now this directly ties us into our next question. It's okay to pull the wings off a butterfly for $50.
Ooh, so I like this one. Makes me think those logos. Comparing butterfly to cockroach, which we just came from, I would say a butterfly, doesn't really bother anyone. It's not in someone's space. Like I've never seen a butterfly in my house before, and it also like doesn't eat my food or like end up like burrowing in things, and it's also not gross in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if I could catch a butterfly, which would be very hard, maybe because like $50, okay, but like it's probably gonna be dead because I've never caught a live one. And then yeah, like I would probably not go after it versus like a cockroach, just because one is gross and I don't want it in my space versus like one is nice and doesn't bother me.
Okay, so on our spectrum, now that you say that, where do you think you'd land?
2.
2. Okay. So still leaning towards disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any other opinions?
I love butterflies. I mean, I got a butterfly tattoo. Absolutely. I can't do it.
And why is your reasoning different from maybe the cockroach instant?
Well, one, I'm not touching a cockroach, and I'm definitely not going to touch a butterfly. Like, if the butterfly lands on me, okay, you know, it's cute, it's cool, but I feel like if I reach it for it, that's a different story. The cockroach, you know, it's just an animal, just living, letting it be. So, you know, we're in its space technically because it was here before us. So what am I to, you know, rip it off and, you know, kill it? Because I feel like the wings, it's going to die. Like, now you have no thing. Feel bad.
Didn't cockroaches survive like the dinosaurs?
The dinosaurs?
is that myth?
Yeah.
Is that truth?
I feel like it's real. Like, they survive everything.
They've been
Found
here
some
for a
like
while.
fossils and
I read like
I think.
Bro, I read a book about it. It was like, what can cockroaches survive? And they're like radioactive explosions, meteorites. I was like, all right.
Okay, fair.
I'm quite indifferent because
Okay.
now your perspectives are making me think about pretty privilege. Yeah.
Could this be?
Oh.
Yeah, like
Could that be pretty
the pretty
privilege?
privilege, right? Listen, I told you I was a cockroach catcher back in my day, and so brown, like I could see them, the brown. You get them on their back, they're squirming. Like it's not typically beautiful, the little hairy legs, right? And some of them.
Oh.
But why are we okay with, I don't know, killing the dark brown, black, scary bottom feeder animal, but because the butterfly has blue and yellow wings and it gets a little, you know, it's pretty and I even think about the aspect of the wings and how I guess for a butterfly it's essential, right? Like do butterflies have legs? Do they crawl? Like I mean, I guess they land on items,
Yeah,
but
they
I've never seen them walk. Do the butterflies walk?
They
walk a little
They
bit.
have, but of course they're still essential. They're gonna need their wings
They
as
need
well.
it. They need it to pollinate to
You
each
know, a
different
roach don't
flower.
necessarily need their wings. I guess that's on the flip side of it.
Accurate, yeah.
But it just makes me think like pretty privilege. This butterfly gets to live, but the cockroach, you gotta go.
And mind you, have we all seen that one episode of SpongeBob with the butterflies?
Oh, yup.
I was
the
not allowed to
scary
watch
one.
SpongeBob.
Okay,
That's
okay,
real.
okay.
That's-
But butterflies are pretty. Butterflies can be scary to
They
some,
can.
me.
Yeah.
But that's an amazing like take too, because it is kind of like an a take on pretty privilege, how you're perceived and how you look. So that's some, and I know they're insects, but there's always
There's always an underlying thing there.
There's always an underlining tone.
And there's a little truth to every joke, I believe.
Yeah.
I 100% agree to that.
Yeah,
for
if you
sure.
kind of go off of what you said too, are we okay with killing the cockroach because it doesn't serve a purpose to us, but the butterfly does? Because the butterfly, it makes us look like, oh, it's pretty, but the cockroach is like, oh, ew. So are we okay with killing it because it doesn't serve a purpose to us or please us in any way? And we don't want to kill the butterfly because it pleases us and it looks pretty.
Isn't there like a fetishization with butterflies? Like I know the entire process, right? Like it's caterpillar and it was the cocoon and caterpillar, and then it goes through this
Chrysalis,
process.
yeah.
Yes,
right?
I was literally
And-
thinking the word
and-
that I said photosynthesis.
And a butterfly is like that beauty. There's become the butterfly and grow into and it's linked to like an evolution of self.
Interesting. And I didn't even think of it from that way either. So
Yeah.
another
It's giving
like,
philosophers.
It
Like,
is.
who are we?
It
It's
is
giving
for
liberal
sure.
arts education. Hey, thank you, Rollins College.
Wait, on that note, let's pivot to our next prompt. Now, we're all students. Maybe we all feel strongly about this, maybe we don't. But the next prompt is, I believe universities should be free for everyone. Okay, a divided kind of response. Can I
like
get some
this.
opinions?
I think I put my hand up first.
for it.
I said two. I think
Okay.
I'm really interested. I'm interested in higher education. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is what I intend to be my vocation, and I constantly think of the higher education enterprise. Like it is a business,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's important for education to be accessible, but free for everyone is just a bit like extreme for me. I think it should be affordable. I think it should be accessible.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially, and that's the thing of private versus public education. I think we need institutions like UCF and state schools to be accessible for folks, and
Mm-hmm.
but free is a bit like, because then if it's free, then what is the how's that sustainable for
Mm-hmm.
America and for its population?
Yeah.
So, since you refer to America specifically in terms of other countries, I mean, we see a lot of like free education in Europe. What is your take on that then? I mean, of course, I don't know too much about like the institutions in Europe, but how would you compare those two? Like, why couldn't that be done here?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not quite versed in what's going on in Europe. I talked to a lot of students and I
And of
engage with
course,
them.
not every school has like free
Yeah,
like
free education.
tuition. Yeah.
No, I think just taking the question at face value.
Mm-hmm.
I think we I don't know. A lot of people say if it's free, it's for me, right? Like that kind of thing. I think I
I'm
mean,
laughing because I know that.
right? Yeah,
Free 99.
yeah, free 99. Like but I think every time I've seen things be free, there's always a level of denotation to it, right? There's a level of stigma that's attached to it, and what that brings. I think even looking at schools and students who get a full ride there, a student athlete, there's a level of I gotta work harder, I've got to do this, and what's that level of value proposition there?
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a lot of students who go to school in Europe and who come to the U.S. instead of going to schools in Europe. So I don't know what that's about, but I think just the aspect of it being free just draws a question of, is it the value of that education?
I think a couple things
Yeah.
come to mind, really strong points.
Okay.
This idea of like the Europe versus the like US.
Mm-hmm.
I did some research between the two. And there's kind of just the basic psychology of like when something's foreign, sometimes it has a higher attenuated value to it of like, oh, this is like I got this somewhere else, or like this is like exclusive or something like that. So there is that aspect of people that go to school internationally when their home country has similar types of programs because either they may see it as more prestigious or there's a higher intrinsic value of like, oh, I'm doing this thing somewhere else, so it must be better. So when we're looking at Europe and some of the free or discounted education they have there, there is, I mean, I can't speak too much on it, but I've seen some statistics in terms of a lot higher percentages and levels of underemployment there. So when we're thinking about like being underemployed or working a job that you have more education or experience than it requires or more than you would need. So kind of a common thing within recent years over there, kind of like how the bachelor's degree here is seen as almost the high school education that it was 80 years ago. Over there in Europe, because the free education's been going on for a while, there's been a correlation and a pattern of students seeking more degrees to be able to be in some of those same jobs of the past. And so, like, a lot of the time, you'll have like master's or PhD students that maybe are not being able to give back as much to society because they're working like a medium to an entry level job. When we think about a PhD as someone that's really a specialist and they've devoted almost their life study to said type of work, and it's not really reflected as much. So thinking about that value, but then also that cost to society, of somebody has to pay for the education kind of thing somewhere. Is society truly benefiting? And then also when you think of factors of like brain drain of someone gets an education here or there or wherever it may be, and then they go take it back to their home country or somewhere that's going to pay them more or somewhere they would rather be. That's intellectual capital that's leaving a certain area. So I try to think about some of these things with like
Of
the free for
course.
everyone. And then tiny bit more of kind of here locally, I would say the idea of doing something like previously 80 years ago, to go back to that point in time, there was a lot of options in terms of paths that you could develop income to sustain yourself. So you had the trades, you had, I mean, high school education, which was still somewhat few and far between, And then you had this idea of like going to college and getting this bachelor's degree, and then going that like educated route. And so with that, it related. Part of it was people that had means to do so, but part of it was a little bit more of you pick whichever path that you're kind of better at. And in today's world, I feel like recently going through high school and stuff like that, college just turned into this default of like, where are you going to school? Or like, have you applied yet? Or are you whatever? And I had this mindset that I don't think college is the right thing for everyone. And so if it's provided as free, is this either basic human right or just made heavily accessible or subsidized? It can maybe make people question if that's something that's right for them, but then also you might have people that college is maybe not their best thing, but they're being swayed or misguided of, I don't want to lose this free opportunity, but I think that I don't really do well with tests, or I don't do well with learning in a classroom, and I'd rather be hands-on, but they just go down that route because that's what the default is.
I like everybody's answers, but I think I kind of differ because I think it should be free. I feel like education is definitely very much power. And the more, as we can, I don't know if I could talk about the current political climate, but I guess I won't go too much into it, but
as long as we're respectful, I feel like we have no problem diving into like our current hot topics.
Okay. I mean, as we can currently see, education is being the first thing that's targeted everywhere. Take it away, take it away, take it away. Take away the history that we've learned. Because, education is power. By knowing where you came from is the only way to know where you've been. And I'm not saying college is the only way to education, but if cost, which is affecting somebody's decision to whether or not they want to attend college, that shouldn't really be a factor because people make different things every day. As you were saying, some people do have to work harder to get full rides and work to do that. I'm one of those students. I was able to get a full ride because I worked. But if I knew that it would have been free or something like that, I'm not saying that I would have worked less harder, but I can see like where your point comes in, where if it's like free, then people may not want to work as hard, or they may not want to take advantage of the opportunity. But I think kind of what you mentioned too, Europe, I've heard it before, like Europe does have free education. And I just think it being oh my God, being an option is a really great thing to have because, okay, like you were saying, college is definitely not for everybody. So if I feel like the cost of college though does kind of deter people from, maybe they can find a university that doesn't do as many tests that they know where they can fit in more, but because of the cost of it, they don't want to do it, or they just don't want to look, or they just want to go somewhere else, which is completely valid because college is expensive, guys. Like, it's a lot, and higher education is expensive too. And it makes me think, like, I wonder if it's a tactic to help people stay less educated because it's so expensive, because you go into debt from doing that. You can have a PhD, a master's degree, a doctorate. You might spend the rest of your life paying off that doctorate. So is it like really worth it if you weigh like the pros and cons? But I think if it's just like being free, then people can like live happier doing like a more fulfilling type of thing. So it was a 5, but now it's like a 4 because I can see where everybody else's like viewpoints are coming in. So it's like a 4-3. It's like I definitely see what you guys are talking about. Like, I mean, it'd be nice to just say, hey, college is free. Like,
no, and I just want to like let's make a quick comment. And it sounds a little corny, but I'm really happy that everyone's like kind of standing firm. Like I know like it's okay to sway, but oftentimes it's really easy to be like, wait, no, like I'm this, but you guys all had really solid explanations and you kind of stood firm on your answer. So
we standing on business.
Kudos on business.
I know we're taking a little long on this prompt, but I think
it's a good prompt.
It's relevant. Yeah. It's relevant.
I'm also curious, like what's been. I engage with a lot of students now as a student leader where they're like, well, I'm in college for fun. Daddy can afford it, mom can afford it, and that kind of thing. But then what would be the value proposition of the degree? And what's the point of a degree at that point if everyone is coming in with a bachelor's degree, right? Like I work closely with career and life planning in my college and GA students. I just had a long resume session before this, helping an incoming freshman clean up their resume. Yeah. But LinkedIn, we had a job posting last week, and there's 120 people applying for one position, right? Just because it's so easy. Just AI, LinkedIn, do it from the ease of your home. and everyone's kind of got a degree, right, coming into those
Mhm.
spaces. So what's that differentiation? What's the aspect of work ethic that comes into there? And I'm in no place to judge because I'm very much a benefactor of hard work and scholarship and aid for my institution. But it's just there's a lot of questions there. I think that needs a bit more
That's true.
guardrails.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Guardrails. That's a
mean,
perfect word for that.
Yeah, this prompt can be attacked from many, not attacked, but approached from many different perspectives. And so obviously we're not here to convince each other, but I'm glad
Yeah.
we all
Yeah,
shared our
yeah.
different
Yeah.
perspectives. And honestly, like I had a lot of questions that you had, and I gained new insight from the comments that you guys made and your explanations. And I think this is a topic I'll probably research a little more when
Yeah,
I go
no,
home. So
definitely,
thank
yeah.
you.
Sure.
Seriously.
And I hope that even beyond this conversation that we can stay in touch and just
Oh my gosh.
enlighten
Of
each
course.
other.
Yeah.
I like
We're
to sh-
locked in now, guys.
Yeah.
I know you.
I
We're
like
locked
to show
in
up to
now.
spaces. I love to show up to spaces
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
very blind and
Yeah.
just open and very centralist and
Literally.
just interested in
Yeah.
perspectives and
Different. What did we
and
just say,
discovering.
Madrid? Different
Yeah.
language.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
everywhere, just blind.
immersion, right?
Right.
That's the best way to
Mhm.
learn.
That's what we
So,
need.
Thank you.
Of course. No, thank you guys. Okay, I'm gonna shift to another question. I don't know how much time we have left, but let's
Dang, we're on a
let's
time limit.
let's go on another. We'll say something a little more, not really lighthearted, but a little. All right, okay, I'll just say it. Cancel culture does more harm than good.
Oh my god! I literally just had this prompt
And
we talked about
I
it.
don't know if you guys
It's
know where this
so
is heading,
good.
but I'm definitely gonna tie this into Love Island. So I hope you're like a part of like.
Go for it.
So we
messed
do we
up
have to
that
do
way.
a number?
Okay, yes. For a show of fingers first. Everyone do a number. Cancel culture does more harm than good.
I'm so sorry. I'm not into the interwebs, the
Into
social
what?
media.
Social media. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Cancel culture. You do something
Mhm.
bad, you're canceled.
yeah, okay, so yeah, no, thank you for asking. Cancel culture, yeah.
Yeah,
So like for
definitely
example,
define it.
you may say something that could be deemed as politically incorrect or offends a certain demographic, many demographics. It's just you do something that a lot of people kind of condemn you for, and in turn, they want to see you gone. And it's not like a place of I want to kind of help you. It's more of like a place of like, well, you did this, you should be
Shunned. You're
deplatformed.
shunned.
You're
Okay.
shunned,
Mhm.
Okay,
essentially.
4. I'm a 4.
So you
Mhm.
strongly agree. Like
That is
like
more harm than
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cancel culture is more harm than good. Okay.
Same thing here.
Okay.
I can go with the 3. I
3.
can go with the 3
Okay.
because be different. No, fine.
Yeah, I love
different
this. I love
perspectives
this.
though.
No, for real. Cancel
Dialogue across
culture.
differences.
Phoenix generation.
No,
he
for
knows
real.
ball.
Look, cancel culture, high key, but low key, but like actually, really high key needs to be canceled because.
Okay.
Oh God. Because like I understand where people are coming from who like, oh, cancel them, let's not do it anymore. Because let's take into point what we're doing with like DEI and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So like we've canceled major companies. So like Target, Walmart. Ooh, oh, let me
Speak
not
your truth.
stop. Let me not get us in trouble. But like, people are like, okay, cancel them. Like they support this or they've rolled back their DEI. Let's do that. Let's just not shop at those places anymore. Let's boycott. And will probably say I've stopped going to Target. I do not go to Walmart.
Mhm.
I look at places and what they've supported and I just don't support them anymore personally because I'm like, if I'm paying you money and you're using that money to strip me down,
Mhm.
then you're just not worth my dollar. But cancel culture regarding people, that's too much because one, we're all our first time humans, guys. Like this is our first time on Earth. Like we don't.
I haven't heard that before. I'm gonna steal
we're
that.
we're all
Yeah.
first time humans. Like we all make mistakes, and social media wasn't just invented to be an inclusive environment, like culturally warming and just different stuff like that, and share things.
Mhm.
Now, if I say something that is incorrect, then of course I would like you guys to come over. Not cancel me, but kind of correct. Thank you.
Correct
Yeah.
you with love.
Correct me with love. And that's just not what cancel culture is. Cancel culture is such a harming and stripping you down type of place because they're like, oh, you did this, so that means you're this, and that.
Mhm.
Now, there are some like things that go on that behind the scenes that people may be influenced to think that way. Like we don't know people's lives outside of social media.
Mhm.
So who are we to judge and to cancel them? Especially if that's what cancel culture is trying to not have. Like, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's like cancel culture, it definitely does more harm because what's the good in stripping somebody down and deeming somebody less than? Because aren't you kind of just doing the same thing that they did that you canceled them for?
Russell, I think you take this, and I'm gonna try to bring it home because I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm decoding and encoding.
Yeah.
I would say just to incorporate a couple elements. So thinking from like the psychological aspect, people tend to take away more of a lesson from like negative events, but then also like when you're spoken to negatively, it like it's gonna linger a little longer than like
Yeah.
something positive. So like that's why bullying can leave such lasting impacts on people, or like childhood trauma and things can exist because like it leaves an impression on you that a I love you or you're doing great kind of thing can't really erase. And also your brain just holds on to it more.
And then it's like we people forget what you say, but not how you make them feel. Yeah.
So that's like a big, so like kind of just including that like emotional, psychological aspect, like just negative speech in general. I feel like that's why a lot of the narrative recently has been like speak kindness and like just do good things in the world, etc. But I think that it really stands on that foundation because like it's a feeling and it's something that like you can hold on to, but it's not going to leave that like negative mark that like something that's just kind of hateful or canceling would do. So I feel like the same way online, like we're all human, we're all going to make mistakes, we're all like deserving of forgiveness, and I think that we're all learning. And so being able to, if you're going to correct someone, like make it in a way that there is ability to change from that and like learn and grow from whatever somebody's perspective is or their like accident or their whatever. Like even thinking about like if I was early Gen Z, whatever, the kids growing up today with cell phones, like not that I'm out there doing bad things, but like just the fact that like even so much more of their life, even compared to us that like we just grew up the other day, is online and publicized and has a history to it, is surprising. Like there needs to be a space where people can like have a sounding board and make their mistakes a little bit, like a sandbox of sorts that like you can just learn, grow, and be a human. And I think that some of the impacts of just the permanency of the internet doesn't really create that. And so I think that instead of like really holding someone to you did this one thing and you should never be allowed to speak again, or you can't be trusted, or your whole reputation is taken away from you, like that's almost defamation. And so when we think about like one person does something that's deemed negative by a large group of people and they're basically defamed from their name, likeness, identity, that's a pretty heavy offense. So I really feel like, again, as your point is, like if we can keep this in a like correctional, like growth, like improvement based manner, we can create a lot more dialogue and people can find ways to get a lesson out of things, versus just really being shunned. And then like that's where retaliation and some of those other things come from, is it's hard to transform and channel that energy into something else, rather than just kind of like throwing hate out there.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Sorry.
So I just have one last clarifying question, then I can provide my feedback.
Of course.
Who are like 3 people that maybe we all would know who've been canceled?
Kanye.
Kanye's been
Kanye
canceled?
West for his things.
Yay. We call him Yay, right?
Whatever you want. Brooke something.
I think Kanye is definitely like a lot of people are attempting to cancel him. I don't think that's an accurate representation of someone that got truly canceled. Are you guys familiar with Daniel Caesar?
Yes.
Daniel Caesar made a couple of comments directed towards Black women that very colorist comments that did not sit well with a lot of communities. And
canceled?
he got pretty canceled. People tore him up on Twitter. And I'm not saying this is like, I am not a Black woman, so like I'm not speaking for any communities, but he got tore up on Twitter. And he kind of was out of the spotlight for a while. And I feel like if you hear like culture and like on Twitter especially, like who do you think successfully got canceled? Because that's a debate. Like people like to ask that question. A lot of people mentioned Daniel Caesar.
Yeah.
So like because he kind of was out the spotlight for a while. A lot of people
I think
did
he's
not.
Still out the spotlight.
He kind of is. A lot of people do not want to. I don't know if he has apologized, but people don't want to forgive him and people don't want to give him another chance. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying facts. Let's.
So Daniel Caesar, Yay.
I would definitely say Kanye because while I think for Kanye too, a lot of people point out his mental health issues and him not receiving the right help as a reason for why he acts that way, which is, can definitely be true. Like if you're not receiving what you need, then, it causes you to think a certain way. And so I think a lot of people have tried to cancel him, or a lot of people try to use what I just said about his mental health to help people understand why he may be doing something. But like cancel culture doesn't like mean that they don't want to hold you accountable. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like they want to hold you accountable, but kind of what you were doing, what you were saying, is like we can hold them accountable, but we don't have to be dehumanizing them. We don't have to cause defamation of their name. Right. We don't have to do that in order to hold somebody accountable.
I'm almost going to disagree. I feel like cancel culture is like
Shaming.
It's shaming.
Yeah.
It's not really from like a place of like trying to understand.
Mm.
Well, let me re-clarify your take before I say agree or disagree. Sorry.
No. So I was like, I think the idea of cancel culture before it turned toxic was to hold people accountable. So like when we say like cancel culture, it doesn't mean like we don't want to hold those people accountable. We just want to we just want to hold them accountable in a different way than what cancel culture would do.
Okay, so I'm gonna backtrack. I do agree with you on that.
No, you're good. I should have clarified.
No, and that's why I asked. Thank you. I think at a certain like time, cancel culture was supposed to like be a way to hold us big celebrities typically accountable. I think that it has gone crazy. I'm gonna get super relevant since on question. Someone that has been facing cancel culture super recently is Sierra from Love Island season 7. She made she used slurs towards the Asian community that and
like,
and
is
like
it her or the other person?
No, it's Sierra. She made slurs towards the community, and she received a lot of backfire. And it was to the point where she was getting doxxed. She people called ICE on her parents because she is of Mexican. Like her parents are Mexican, I think, and Puerto Rican. And they are bullying her, sending her death threats every day because she used a certain slur. And she has apologized, and of course, just because someone gives you an apology doesn't mean you have to accept it. But she has tried, I guess, to like reconcile with that and do better. I mean, who knows how truthful that is, but people really took it extreme. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that situation or even follow Love Island, but I think that could be the most recent example of cancel culture.
I knew it was, I forget her name because I did not watch the season due to everything that was surrounding it. I'm a season 6 girly to the day I die.
And we'll be talking about that later because I love season 6.
Okay. No, because what was the first girl who got kicked off after they found out she said the N-word?
Oh, that's another, Yulissa.
And then Huda. I think they're trying, or her fan base is so strong that they're not allowing her to be canceled, but it's those 3. And then I also heard that the Love Island network itself, they're trying to cancel because the thing about Love Island is that they're supposed to be, or they say that they do all this research coming in to know the people, what they are. But as soon as they get on that screen, the people found out, or, you know, something got leaked or whatever and was like, oh, did you not do your research? Because it's publicly shown that this is what she believes. This is how she rolls on a day to day. They take them out in the middle of the night and they're like, oh, it never happened. But, so people are like very upset.
A lot of people are upset because it almost feels like I've heard some people say that they're like kind of platforming someone that's like really like choosing to be really ignorant and hurtful and like the things that they have said. But some people take it to the extreme in their feelings. I think someone even called CPS, Child Protective Services, on Huda.
Yes.
So like that just kind of like goes to show the extreme of like what people are willing
to do in the name of cancel culture.
Yeah, the name of cancel. Exactly.
Same wavelength, bro.
I have to open. I'm a Christian, and my faith truly informs me, and so I think in the aspect of judgment, it just sounds really off. And if it's social media heavy, I think it's coming from people who you can't see.
Yeah.
Right. And people you can't see, and just let me call ICE because I can from my little basement, and I do what I need to do. I think it just comes from. I just lead with love, and that's what I was taught to do. And so, I think education is the main way to go. And I'm also saying this as someone who's been really enthralled in higher education leadership, right, and engaging with students and being an RA, and being so pissed at a student for making a mistake, and stone him, right? Why would you do that to that boy? You know what I mean? You were under the influence, whatever have you, but really learning about the aspect of rehabilitation and what that means, and also thinking that just understanding that I've heard cancel culture, just never engage.
Of course.
But is everyone cancelable? Right? I don't think everyone's You think is Beyonce cancelable?
In the name of cancel culture, they believe everybody is
Beyonce cancelable.
I don't know. Not to me, because I don't believe in cancel culture.
Yeah,
Beyonce.
No, but someone said that someone's fan base was so crazy and they won't allow it, right?
Yeah. That was Huda.
No,
like Ye
another
over the
contestant
years.
on Love Island.
Ye, Kanye, and Taylor Swift, right? Like the fact that he's still booming and thriving because it's like, do people love you and do people care? I also think that aspects of cancel culture or actually boycotting sometimes comes from a place of privilege, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you
100%.
can, I was saying you, right? But
No,
folks,
I will
yeah,
100% agree.
you know,
I do have the privilege to be able to boycott
yeah,
Target,
well,
Walmart,
yeah.
because I can find a different
You can
place.
go to a Publix, or, or go to
Right,
Homeboy,
right.
Yeah.
but folks, like, even the aspect of like healthcare and like
Mm-hmm.
healthy eating, and
Mm-hmm.
these things come as privileges, and so you can decide to take your dollars elsewhere
Yeah.
because it's convenient and you don't mind shelling the extra 20-30 bucks, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I think cancel culture is all pseudo, because what it does is it
Right.
just makes people, like, we're in a space together, we're young people, all
Mhm.
college aged, and we made a choice to come in here and share our perspectives and be hit with
Yeah.
questions. We don't know how
Yeah.
it's very unsettling, right? You don't
Yeah,
know
it is.
what kind
It
of
is.
question, what do you believe? Do you believe in Jesus, right? And speak now, right? The camera in your
Stone
face.
him.
Stone him. And so I think the aspect of people just, I'm getting the vibe, this space, and I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I can sit here and be like, oh, this is pretty right. These people are pretty right, and so I'm not gonna go against them because it can be 3 against 1. Or these people are pretty left, and I'm just gonna go with the flow and that groupthink mentality that can happen, and that's all it seems to be. All you need is one loud voice, or one big person, or one kind of hot take that sounds good, or someone who can speak well but saying a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
To get a post going, and it's a snowball, and that's
Yeah.
not stone him, and like, hey, that now the word, like, again, people don't remember what you say, but they remember how you make them feel. And so one comment, be like, whoa, going back to the source. I remember coming to the US, taking it political, but I used to be very, I used to just see one clip of one individual, one clip of a soundbite, and everyone's angry. So I go and watch the full video. I'm like, they said this, but not really, right? And so just
Right.
understanding how things can be taken out of context. And yeah, it's all about grace. Who am I to judge? I ain't nobody.
Exactly.
I'm a sinner. I'm just a
Look,
nobody.
Look, what? 100%.
Trying to tell everybody about somebody, and that somebody's
It is
Jesus.
about
Can we get an amen?
Hey, hallelujah.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Well, I just got a signal that we have to kind of close out soon, which is so sad because I've been having such good
We're chatty
conversations with you
Cathy's, so
guys.
No,
yes.
literally.
One more.
One
Okay,
more.
if we can sum
Speed
this up.
round,
Oh,
speed
speed
round.
round, speed
Uno
round.
más.
Should we take a no?
Okay,
I'm gonna have to
maybe we
pick.
could do 2 more, just numbers, just the number, no talking.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Is that okay? Sorry.
Crew.
Oh.
Okay,
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Okay. Let me shuffle. I'm gonna jump in. Lying is necessary sometimes. Okay, can I participate? I'm gonna participate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the 4 too.
Yeah.
Okay. One sentence from each person. Super quick.
Yeah, life is at stake.
Okay.
Tough situation needs, a white lie sometimes.
Okay.
Preserve the feelings and call it a day.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
One,
I feel like different circumstances call for different situations.
Next question.
Pick your battles.
Next
Okay.
question.
Sorry.
That was two sentences. Okay. Okay. Free will is an illusion.
Oh, damn.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
4.
I don't know.
Wait, no, I randomly put up 2.
Free will is
Free will is an illusion. I think
No.
I'm going with the 4.
I'm gonna go with the 3 because I feel
Go
like
with
it's
the
the
4.
middle because I don't know. I have to
I'm a
think.
2, but we can't explain, right?
We can't really explain. Okay,
I have to think.
I'm sorry, viewers, but we're unfortunately going to address this question after the podcast because this is a juicy topic. I think we all had a good reaction to this. Okay, that was 2. We have to respect the time. So
Sad.
I'm going to do some follow-up questions. Because having dialogues across differences, it's not always the easiest thing, and I feel like we were all pretty good on terms of listening. How do you think you did with listening?
Go ahead.
I like listening. I like hearing other people speak, and I love learning different perspectives. So, I think we all did a really great job. I don't want to just talk about me, but I feel like we all
Your
just did
perspective.
a great job in, taking things from what each other said, like how I addressed you and what you said, and how you addressed him and what you said, and kind of just taking everybody's answers to kind of form your own answer. I think that was a great aspect of truly listening and truly understanding. So I think we kind of all ate down. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, feels good. Like, it just, we all really kind of opened up and things. feel like I could have listened more. There was just so much dialogue happening at once. It was hard to like just differentiate, but I really like just chewed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a listener. I feel like that's one of my skills. So active listening, right?
Active listening. Yeah.
And listening without an intent to respond necessarily is just
Mhm.
my default. So
And-
it was wonderful engaging with you all.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say default because I feel like being an active listener takes work. I feel like you can be perceived as a good person and you can be a really good listener and reflect well, but I feel like oftentimes that is hard work to do. Like you don't just instantaneously become that. So kudos.
It's practice.
It is practice. Yeah, I got really excited when you guys were sharing some things and I almost wanted to like jump in and interrupt and I was like, okay, like you need to remain respectful and you need to listen without like coming up with a response right on the spot. So this was good. How do you guys feel you did with staying curious? Because some of us did have different takes.
I mean, the fact that I'm wanted to spend another hour after this and chat with you all is I think, a testament to that.
same.
For sure.
Yeah.
I need that.
We're locked in. I hope y'all know.
Even though you graduated, like all of y'all like are about to graduate
We're all
besides
Orlando
me.
right now.
We're all in
Like,
Atlanta right now.
Y'all cannot leave me in the dust by myself. Like, no. Like, you guys are now, like,
Of course.
forever.
do.
Like, I need, like, to stop. Don't make me sad.
The
Anyway.
lunch club right here.
Yeah.
I'm literally like, should we go eat after this? Like,
I'm
what's
hungry.
Well, like,
Like,
well, we're
Low-key, I was gonna ask if you
we're
wanna go to that
downtown. We
pizza
could just
place.
hop over. We're
Downtown. I don't know that. Wait, what did
Straight
I-
out here, huh?
Guys, I love this. Okay. Another question. How do you think we felt or acted about not being judgmental? Like, do you think that you had that space to kind of not judge with different responses?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have this saying that it's like I'm gonna ask, right? Because if it's no, I never had it. And if it's yes, yay, right? So I show up to this conversation. I knew Russell, and I didn't expect to see him here. But I did.
hey.
I don't know you guys. I feel like I have an understanding of your beliefs a bit better. But
Yeah.
you know, what can I lose from just learning and listening and being open?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way. Like, that's why I really try to open myself up with new interactions with new people is like, it could go really well, really fast, or it could just not. But like, you don't know unless you engage. Because just smiling at somebody in the elevator is like not really going to tell you much about them. So
Yeah.
You know, like we listen and we don't judge.
We
Like,
listen
you
and
know,
we don't
but I'm gonna
judge.
be like transparent. Like my face be judging before
but-
my thoughts can even come.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
I
real.
feel like I'm working on it, controlling my face because you know my face just has a mind of its own. But I feel like here, like you know, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. Like I truly enjoyed like the session and you know just getting to know you all, like your character, and it's been great. So I feel like you know, part two.
Well,
Part two?
yes.
please.
I've always like told my friends and anyone I can really talk to, I feel like we are in such polarizing times, and I don't only mean politics. I mean like this goes across any kind of like field, but it I think working with like facilitation and hearing different perspectives really is helping me understand that it's okay to curiously disagree, and more importantly, it's nice to be able to listen to other people and really see where they come from, because everyone has different ideas, but truly where does that stem from and why do you think the way that you think? So I think I felt like I definitely got that from you guys today.
It was a great sentence. It was a bar. It was great.
So thank you. In times of our dialogue, what do you think was hard and what do you think was easy in terms of listening and responding? Even if you feel that way at all.
Remembering everything that you guys said, not gonna lie.
Low-key.
my memory, because you guys made so many great points, and I was like, "Ooh, bookmark."
No, Russell was dropping bar after bar, and I was like, "Wait, write that down,
literally,
write that
I was
down."
like, "Wait, can I get a notepad? Can I get some paper?
All of
Like,
you,
let me-
I'll take you.
let me write that down."
Hey,
Like,
recap,
like, can
Yep.
we put captions on this podcast so I can go back and pause and be like, "Okay, so what he said was."
Don't worry, I'll credit you guys when I use your information.
I would say just trying to like conceptualize and articulate like what somebody was thinking in just a short period of time was probably the hardest part. Like we all could kind of just go on for a minute. And
Yeah.
I would love for that to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the tough part.
I think in full transparency, I think it's super hard to turn off the eyes, right? Like with this numbers thing, I can look at Russell's numbers 4 and be like, maybe I should be 4. Or even thinking about my responses as an immigrant Black man, like me having the thought about the butterfly and how, you know, the cockroach is black and brown. Like, does that how am I going to be perceived? The aspect of
Mhm.
perception, and just tuning out the cameras and tuning out even who's sitting before me, and just taking your perspective as face value, and just of what you're saying, not who is saying it. I think
Yeah.
is always a challenge.
Yeah.
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 Would.
Yeah.
Another bar right there.
Of
Face
course.
value.
And I'm going to backtrack to that. I'm really glad that you did bring up like that whole discussion about like pretty privilege, because even like a little background behind the scenes and the office, all the interns were kind of going over the questions, and we definitely brought that up. I think it is like alluding to that. So that was it was cool to get deep.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
just like surface level, like,
Yeah.
oh, like it's an insight. Like, no, like, let's be honest. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
and
was
I'm glad you
nice.
brought that up too, because
Yeah.
you know some type of people or some people can like judge you for, oh, you're taking it too deep. Like you brought up, like I've definitely been criticized,
Yeah.
like you're bringing up black and brown and everything, but like guys, there's always a
It's
deeper,
lived.
there's
It's
a
a lived
deeper
experience.
meaning
It's
to
relevant,
everything.
and those are lived
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, that's the whole point of why we're here today.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have different social identities and,
Mm.
and backgrounds. So it allows us to like truly, I guess, get to know one another, get to understand our different experiences. So yeah. I think my last question would be, what did we take away from today? If you have any closing comments, want to share anything that might have stuck with you?
I have a little hope for Gen Z. Like I feel like there's just so
I feel a little
many
better.
family members I don't think that I could have this deep of a conversation with.
Mhm.
And not for any particular reason, but I just think that we chose to just be open and vulnerable and like speak and think deep. And so it kind of gives me some hope, because like we see in the world like a lot of polarizing things, and I think that it's not so much of that, but it requires really that active listening and that being able to disagree, but then like be curious at the same time.
Yeah.
Like this, I think this whole experience will stick with me too, but kind of what you were saying, like we were all able to sit down to have a conversation. A lot of people can't do that now.
Mhm.
And, you know, just the fact that, you know, I don't know if you guys work or had to take off of work to come here. What's today? Saturday?
Wednesday.
No? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Look, we're already ready for the weekend. No, but
I don't
like
blame you.
we were all ready to just take off a random day to just sit and have a conversation with some strangers. Like that will be an experience that will definitely like, it's like bookmark in my head now.
It's
So
etched.
yeah.
No, I feel so incredibly grateful, and I'm being super honest. I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like litmus paper, like just being, douche. What do you call it? Spilled. I feel like you guys just spilled chemicals on me, and I'm like really receiving it and just like taking it in. But I think it's a wonderful opportunity to be around young people. I was in an experience last week where I was around a lot of a big group of people who just really think the same way.
Mhm.
It's quite interesting. We can
Mhm.
chat about that off the air.
Oh, I'm excited
Yeah,
for that.
I'm gonna share. It's a little crazy.
Somebody
but
turn
I
the
was-
stove on. We got some tea cooking.
I think not necessarily disappointed, because again, going back into the judgment, but just
Mhm.
really surprised by how people really think in this nation as student leaders. So it's really relieving to be around this in this space, and we don't necessarily think the same and have the same experiences, but we're open to the other's perspective. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think that sense of relief I share too.
Mhm.
Because I'm not like gonna sit here and assume or even try to like, pry your brain for that. But I don't know any of our affiliations, whether that be like I mentioned, political, religious. I mean, you gave a little insight, you shared, thank you. But I just think that like in such polarizing times, it's nice, despite like our different viewpoints, we can come together and have civil conversations, because it all comes back to like having a community and like really trying to achieve and transform. And so I feel very hopeful too. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
And thank you, Samantha, for like facilitating this.
Yes,
and
for sure.
and
keeping
Great
us,
lead
keeping
all
us
the
on track,
time, right?
She
No,
was a great
guys.
leader.
No, for real.
We're a chatty group. So.
We're
No,
a chatty group, and I love
really.
that. And thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know we're all really busy, but it means so much that you're here and just being present, really. So yeah.
Yay!
And thank you to our viewers for watching yet another episode. We are so grateful that you can get some insight into student lives, our perspectives, and we hope that you continue watching.
Yay! I got that.
Bye.
Bye.